Hey guys, I'm Jack Fossett and welcome to part 2 of Vox AC30 tone tips. Just a brief look back, I've done a part 1 talking about tone tips, mods, and pedals to use with the Vox AC30. If you haven't checked out that video, check that out. I talk about the mods that have been done to this one. Basic mods that just enhance the character of the tone as opposed to making it sound different. And talk about pedals that I like to use, settings that I like to use. One thing that I've gotten a lot of questions about is jumping the channels. And so I wanted to talk about that with another basic pedal setup. Jumping the channels is actually how I prefer to use an AC30. And there are two different ways I like to do it. With a humbucking guitar like a Gibson SG like this one, I like to plug into the normal channel and then jump the top boost channel. And with a single coil guitar like a Fender Stratocaster, I like to do it vice versa. I like to plug into the top boost channel and then jump the normal channel. It gives you this great blend of AC30 character that sometimes you can't get with just the single channel. For instance, a humbucking guitar plugged directly into top boost can be a little bit like, hey, what? Let's go, it's time to rock and roll. And you're like, why don't you take a vacation, Cranberry Man? But the normal channel doesn't quite have that brilliance that some people look for from the Vox Top Boost channel. So you blend it into taste. It's a great way to get the most of your AC30 because both channels are awesome, but don't quite have what the other channel has. So by jumping them, you can really get the best of both worlds. Of course, single coils into the top boost channel, that is an absolute classic AC30 tone. And so again, but you can get a little bit more of that warm, darker, mid-rangey normal channel that just kind of fills up that background, gives you a little bit more depth to your tone. I've done multiple videos talking about overdrives that you can use with an AC30, and really what they all ultimately boil down to is using a classic voiced overdrive, slightly mid-rangey, not too bright. So, for instance, what I'm using today is a DCW Zaz drive, which is a modified Zen drive. It's a really cool pedal. That really sits great with an AC30. Tube screamers are great, Zen drive styles are great, Klon styles are great. A lot of people talk about hotcakes, and you know, of course, hotcake, that is one of the classic ones to use with an AC30. Hotcake is great, but it's not necessarily all that accessible, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about other ones. It just sounds great plugging a tube screamer into an AC30 also. You know, a tube screamer, any modification thereof. I'm also using a NuX tape core, which is a classic vintage style tape delay pedal. Not using it too heavy. Again, as I talked about in my other AC30 videos, a lot of the classic AC30 tones that you associate with, that you may want to emulate, come from the AC30 plus something else, whether that's a Rangemaster or a Tube Screamer. So I like to talk about ways that you can push it beyond just the amp. The two guitars I'm using in this video are the Gibson SG. It's loaded with Righteous Sound pickups RAFs, which are PAF style humbucker. This is a great, it's a 2013 Gibson SG standard with modifications. Also using it with the Fender Stratocaster, which is loaded with Righteous Sound pickups Opals, which are a 50s voiced pickup set. Also sounds great, and both of these guitars really sound great into an AC30. Miking the AC30 with an SM57 and a Blue Encore 100i, recording them into stereo for your listening pleasure. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.